Hello everybody. Blue Fox here. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at a game called Brightpaw, the Nintendo Switch. This is a game that I've been told is a little loud for one thing. Turn that down a little. It's a puzzle game, kind of. That's kind of what I was told. A puzzle game where you control a cat with superpowers. So we're going to have that little adventure. Brightpaw Definitive Edition. Oh, look at that adorable cat. As I said, I am playing this game on the Nintendo Switch. Alright, so I have not tried this game before. I don't know what to expect, but apparently we've unlocked some skins. Some definitive. There are a lot of skins to look at. Oh my god, you can even get a toaster. What is this? Some of these skins are a little much. We're probably just gonna be playing with the typical base form here. Card styles. Oh my god, is this like Metal Gear Acid? Oh, that'll be interesting. Metal Gear Acid was a really strange tactical card game in the Metal Gear Solid universe where you used movement and attack cards to move on a grid and try to get an objective done. I'm trying to select new game. Oh, there we go. Oh. Alright.
Oh, there you are, Theo. Honestly, it's your own dream. Do you even know where you are? Ah, well, it's time we got you sorted out with these cards. Come on now, we haven't got all day.
Select a card and use that to play it. Okay, move.
Oh, sorry about that. Just give that rewind button a tap and we'll see if we can't start walking around things instead of into them.
Why to
If you
rewind?
ever find yourself in a pickle, just remember that you can take a step back and try something else.
Okay.
Now, give these a whirl and see where they get you.
Oh my, you have very specific movement. Okay. If I do this, and then I change the camera? See if I'm gonna like walk behind something. Well, let's try this. This? Okay, now I can move the camera. That's
there you
interesting.
go. Remember, Theo, you can look around at any time. What's that just there? Maybe you should give it a peek.
Oh. A to view it. Odd cat box. Strangely familiar, but otherwise nondescript box.
I wonder what that's doing sitting around here. Maybe you should keep your eyes open for other interesting things. You never know what you'll find. Well, we're done here. Go on, leap into your family's arms.
Aw.
Ron and Nathaniel are waiting.
Okay. So let's see. Oh, this. Act 1, murder. So this is a lot like Metal Gear Acid. Except your movement is very strict. This Theo's bed, warm, comforting.
Ah,
Easy.
what was that? Oh, okay. Well, after being woken unceremoniously by a sudden noise, our hero Theo felt that if he was to be kept awake, he deserved to know why.
Okay. Joshua's acceptance letter for tutelage at a prestigious school. I did see one more thing. Nathaniel's recognition. It's always a cause for celebration when genius is recognized. Okay. There's only one thing to do here, and just move forward. I don't know if I can turn the cat.
Hearing the yelling from the kitchen, Theo wondered if he had really moved from his bed just to listen to some tiff.
Hastily packed suitcase. Despite the awkward posing, happiness and pride. Okay. Grand piano. No longer attended or cared for, but grand despite the lack of use. They are a bitch to maintain. So it looks like either one of these.
Theo couldn't simply stay here forever. He had to find out what was happening.
That's a lot of racket.
Perhaps things were a little more serious.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I don't hear screaming, but that's a lot of breaking. Bodies. Oh no.
The kitchen seemed normal.
Oh!
Except, what was that he could see across the room? He had to take a closer look.
I have to take a closer look at the stuff on the shelves. Oh, there's a cat dish. Theo's food bowl. Completely devoid of answers, insight, or food. Well, not completely devoid of food, but... it'll probably highlight more things as I get closer to them. Oh, wait, maybe... Aha! Joshua and Theo. Young boy and his cat. Else? Oh, the TV. What does the TV say? Channel 9. No signal. Ah, it's on the fridge. Joshua's travels. Selfie taken by Joshua during his travels after college. Okay. Alright, so we've got a bunch of movement. I don't know what R is. Apparently I can't use R just yet. So plus is pause, and minus is, okay, grid view. Alright, so we need something that'll move us to the left, something that'll move us to the right.
God.
Move to the right again.
Theo couldn't believe what he was seeing. His family, motionless on the floor. But that was it. No gun? Nothing at all. Was someone else here? As he turned away, Theo could only think about one thing. Someone was surely responsible for this, and he had to know who.
So what do we have that has broken this table? It looks like CDs. Looks like there's CDs right here. There's definitely blood on her.
Things looked bleak. Theo had to press on.
Maybe? Or is that like flower petals? Very odd looking blood. Alright, well. Okay.
Cautiously examining the hallway, Theo saw no signs of the killer. Instead, he found a path of destruction carved through strange machines before
Yeah,
him.
what are these machines? Right? Out of place robot. Strange robot sitting in front of the room and falling to pieces. We have here the grand piano. Or the grandfather clock. Like a household clock, the rhythmic ticking is a constant reminder of the universe's slow march to entropy. Ah yes, the inevitable heat death of the universe. And a painting. Nathaniel's graduation. I think Nathaniel is responsible for it. Offing his parents. That one...
The deeper into the room Theo moved, the more he realized that something was amiss. That bright red light hadn't always been there, had it?
Achievement unlocked. Act 1, murder. Alright. Let's see what else we got. Lasers.
Although he could not shake the image of his departed owners, Theo suddenly found himself somewhere very different indeed. However, before he could appreciate his new surroundings, he found his attention drawn to the glowing hot wall of energy in front of him.
A glowing hot wall. Okay, so we have weight cards now. Okay. So, I need to move up. Well, first off, we got robot, ruined security robot. Rendered immobile by knocking it over. Wonderful. Got an air vent over here. Lasers. Was there only the one thing? I didn't see how many things there were in this room. Probably just the one. See anything else glowing? Alright, well, we're going to move not into the lasers, up to the laser.
Faced with something so clearly hazardous, he thought it might be wise to take a moment to think before diving headlong into oblivion. Oh, what a pleasant surprise! After his daring maneuver, Theo found that he was still alive. Unfortunately, there was one more laser to slip past. Theo glared at the broken robot blocking his path. After risking his life twice, he was in no mood for this obstruction. Perhaps that broken vent offered salvation.
Alright. Neat little puzzle. Now we have added weighting into the mix.
Still somewhat tense from his previous trial, Theo was immensely relieved to find no deadly lasers when he emerged from the vent. On the other hand, he was instead faced with a functional, frantic, and quite soggy security robot.
Okay, so let's see what we got here. We got a fish. A comfortable flatfish. Fergus. We got janitorial bot. And what else do we have? One more thing. Ah, this picture. Sea mine advertisement. Need to safeguard your underwater assets? These explosive technology. Okay. So we've only got movement here. We probably want to stay out of the way of the water. I guess these red spaces are bad spaces. Yeah, they are. So forward.
As he skirted by the distracted
Oh.
machine, Theo found himself eyeing the hole-riddled aquarium. Either someone was stalking the halls shooting at water features, or the security needed to work on their aim. Though the appeal of fresh fish was enticing, it was offset by the risk of an unexpected bath. Rather than contemplate such a terrible fate any further, Theo decided to make a quick exit.
Got a nice little narration to it. Not quite Stanley Parable-like, but pretty good.
Advancing cautiously, Theo was encouraged by the sight of another aquarium, this time with the water safely inside, not threatening to unpleasantly dampen his fur. There was no time to fish, however, as security appeared to be taking its job a touch more seriously.
Okay, so this red is where that robot is going to go through. Let's got here. We have 3 more items. Hope there haven't been 3 items all the time. And it's reliable, concealable, and effective. A must-have sidearm for the professional hench person. Why would henchman gear be advertised?
Theo could be easily distracted. He knew when it was time to focus.
Cat statue. The true superior life owner. Okay. Let's see. We need to go.
That time had
Oh,
arrived.
depending on when you select this one, it can be either way. Okay, so let's do this. And then do this.
Tearing his attention away from the unattainable, Theo delicately stepped between the broken remains of some very expensive-looking showpieces. Despite his lack of any understanding of fine art, he was disgusted by the wanton destruction before him. Having successfully weaved past the searching eyes of the guard, he was overjoyed to see that he could just follow the killer through a door, instead of crawling through the ventilation like a rodent.
Alright. Oh my, that's a very distraught
Theo
robot.
cast his eyes about the grandiose room, the impressive decor marred by the smoking wreckage of robotic guards. Clearly, someone with no respect for interior design had been this way. However, hanging over the remains of a reception desk, Theo spotted something that took his interest. Brightpaw Industries.
Alright, we have a reception bot. We've got... There. Oh, a vending machine. Fortunately not designed to be used by feline. And we've got...
Although this place was impressive,
Brightpaw sign.
Theo knew he had precious little time to admire it.
Alright, so this goes 1, 2, 3 into the right. So if we end on here, 1, 2, 3... 3 into the
Theo
right.
had many
It's not enough.
but lollygagging wouldn't answer any of them.
So... I think I need to wait. Well, let's try this. Then maybe move another 2. No. That'll get me killed, that'll get me killed. Have to wait. Okay, we'll move a short distance.
Despite the damage, the underlying class of this Brightpaw establishment was clear. The placement of several large aquariums, brimming with exotic fish, was an inspired design choice that Theo could respect.
And we'll do this.
Theo crossed the room, breathing in the intoxicating fragrance of fish, while taking care to avoid the remaining hazards. As he did, his mind began to wander. Why was a place like this situated beneath his home? And more importantly, why had these fishy treats not been brought to his attention before?
Show floor.
At
6
first glance,
cards.
it appeared that Theo had stumbled into a storage room for broken glass. Except there were other items in the glittering fragments. Grenades? Missiles? An umbrella?
Is that actually... That's a really classic bomb. So is Brightpaw Industries like a weapons manufacturer? I mean, these are rifles over here. And an umbrella. A trick umbrella. Oh, it's an umbrella gun. Yeah, Brightpaw Industries, are they like supervillains? Okay. So let's see. That'll kill us. That's okay. Probably want to move up a little though. Nothing is going to make us move properly. So I think we have to wait. And then we have to... Let's see. We've got an up left. And then an up left. Then an up right. Okay, so I think we need to wait first. And then we need to use this to move to the right. We need to follow this guy.
Theo padded behind the guard, pondering his discoveries. A hidden underground facility, robotic security, and now rooms filled with odd weapons. What on earth was this place? Looking back, Theo considered that it was perhaps unwise to leave such destructive toys lying around. On the other hand, there was no way someone would leave live explosives on display. Probably best to ignore it and hurry on.
Ignore it. Okay. A boardroom. We have 8 cards
Theo
in this one.
contemplated the ruins of the once magnificent boardroom.
Daniel's dealings. Handshake.
Which had been reduced to little more than burnt mahogany by some
I
kind of
think we're
explosion.
arms dealers for supervillains. Need your enemies to disappear in a hurry? Would you prefer them to be in pieces? Yeah, I think that's what Brightpaw Industries is. They are
But why?
weapons dealers for supervillains.
Oh, perhaps those lasers were a motivator.
Oh my. Okay, so is that laser grid gonna come toward me? Where is the okay, there's the egg. Alright, so we need to move to the right. Oop.
With the wall of death slowly advancing, Theo scrambled for a plan to slip by. There, across the room, a shattered glass wall offering a glimpse of escape.
Okay. If we do this... Okay. Then we need to do... Just need to move up. And then I need to...
Deftly avoiding glass
Yes.
with his paws.
There we go. I was hoping that table would block it.
Portrait on the wall. Was that Nathaniel? As he stood, he wondered, how much of all this was his master responsible for?
Alright. Then we move forward. Motive.
Someone had clearly been rifling through the deliveries recently, though they didn't seem to have found what they were looking for.
Okay, well. Ransacked crates. Which looks like it's got a sea mine in there. What do we have in here? Box of empty vials. And a patrol bot blueprint. Okay. Doesn't appear to be much of a threat in this room.
Obviously, the killer had been looting the facility, and it was unlikely that they planned to use volatile weaponry to spread peace and joy. Being a conscientious cat, Theo knew it fell to him to put a stop to the killer's nefarious activities.
Okay, we only got 2 things in here, so it's possible that room only had 1
The
thing.
towering stacks of
Hefty weapons case.
crates gave Theo some measure of hope. Perhaps the killer would try to search the top of an unstable pile and fall to their doom.
Okay, so it's entirely possible that these things are moving on this conveyor belt. Let's see. I need to move to the right. I guess the best way to do that is to do this.
Lost in daydreams of the killer being buried
Okay, so it
alive,
moves you 1
Theo
space.
stepped blindly forwards onto a conveyor belt, promptly shuffling him away from his happy thoughts.
Okay, so I'm gonna want to move to the left here. Because that'll put me 1 space to the right. Yeah, and then I want to turn to the right. And I want to use this to move to the left. No, I want to use this to move straight.
Perhaps
either
it was
one would've worked.
unlikely that the killer would be ended by fallen cargo. But the belts leading into the dark and deadly machinery
So-
seem to promise an untimely demise.
I don't like that the camera seems to be stuck on the center of the map. It feels weird. I want to move the camera around, but I'm
Spotting a
stuck
bundle
on
under
this
some nearby crates,
on this
it
point
appeared
of
Theo's
reference.
wishes had been heard. However, he tempered his excitement until he could get a closer look.
I'm surprised that the camera isn't focused on Theo. Alright, let's see what we got here. Looted explosives. And...
Theo tempered his excitement. He didn't lose it.
Was that a crate there? Completely average box. Okay. So let's see. This one doesn't appear to be moving, so we can go anywhere here. Oh, that's... Let's try that again. I think I need to move like this.
Stepping over a broken belt with great care, he was disappointed to discover not a body, but simply several empty crates bearing the very explosive.
What's
The empty
this?
crates led Theo to conclude 3 things. The killer had found what they were looking for, they were definitely up to something, and Theo's work was not yet done. He moved on with the hope that the killer's loot would be enough to slow them down.
Take cover. Okay, we're gonna have to
Theo
use
pondered the erratic
the
crusade of
boxes.
robots as they fired at non-existent threats. Perhaps the killer had just passed through?
Yeah, we're gonna have to use the boxes to block the lasers. Laserbot. Then we've got some kind of algae container. Ominous algae. And what else do we have? Oh, circuitry? Mysterious drawing. Okay. Alright, so if these boxes are going to move one space, I need to get behind this box.
The belt, unable to tell the difference between a cat and a crate, and lacking the desire to learn, moved him once again as it would any other box.
Okay. I need to get to this side of it. And then I need to walk in front of it.
As he headed for the door, Theo couldn't shake the feeling that the strange blue algae was creeping steadily across the wall behind him. Oh,
Uh-oh.
it was probably harmless.
Ominous algae. Uh-oh. Scribbles.
Whoever Theo was following had certainly spooked these poor
Big algae container.
robots who were all consumed by blind panic.
What's this? A bizarre series of patterns with no clear meaning. Perhaps some kind of code? Odd cipher? Let's see. If I can end up on the... Yeah, on this, it'll push me over. So, let's use this.
As he carefully padded forwards, avoiding lasers, Theo noticed the most curious drawing etched into the wall. But
Okay.
why would a killer stop to doodle?
So that is going to be a bad time. Ooh. Alright. Let's do this. It'll move us both. Then I can move one space forward.
Theo couldn't
That
stop
laser will
thinking
get
about
blocked.
the bizarre graffiti he kept seeing. It was
Yeah.
unlikely the killer was taking the time for artistic creativity. Was someone else in the facility?
That back. That back. I need another... Okay, so I needed to use this. Boop. 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 Yeah. There we go. Vandalism.
As he stepped into the room, Theo found his racing mind
Gun rack.
halted
Abyss.
by yet another drawing of a slightly more significant scale.
Oh my god. Abstract mural. Series of gold geometric lines that take the form of a figure.
Theo tried his best to examine the etching, but found it devoid of artistic value.
And an AC unit. Okay. Alright, so we have a wait button now. Alright, let's use one of our forward twos. Then we'll use another forward two. That'll give us a blockage there. We'll have to wait one. Now we can go... Ooh, no. Okay. Not the way. Okay, I have to use... Let's see. If I wait one... No, that one's just gonna go there and I'll be blocked. Let me move up one. Let me... Can I wait now? Let's wait.
As he began to move away, Theo couldn't help but wonder who would put so much effort into these acts of vandalism. Was it maybe some kind of poorly drawn calling card? Perhaps, he thought as he carried on, the murderer was simply an awful artist. Whatever it was, the mural failed to hold Theo's interest long enough for any meaning to be gleaned.
Huh? Loading. Alright.
According to the booming sounds of heavy industry
Cargo container.
and the massive shipping containers, Theo had found himself in some kind of loading station.
What's the other object? Oh, wait, I think I saw it. Tie? Obvious tie. Huh. Alright. So, these shipping containers do look like they're moving. Let's do this.
Theo's eye was caught by something colorful and clearly out of place hanging from a rail across the room. A discarded tie. Was this some kind of taunt?
Straight. This
It was
way.
becoming clear to Theo that the large boxes wouldn't just wait for him to cross, so he quickened his pace towards the infuriating clue.
Nope.
Clearly, the killer had left this tie to send a message, but in doing so, they had left a trail for Theo to follow. Perhaps he'd get the better of them yet.
I wonder what other things I can do aside from moving and waiting.
Though he was intrigued by the surprisingly expressive train waiting before him, on the other side of the tracks, a curious hole in the wall drew
Train robot. Sentient train fueled only by its self-hatred over...
his eye. Perhaps the killer had made their own exit.
Covered crate. And we've got a rail route map. It's just a giant circle. For those who struggle to remember their stop. Alright. That.
Stepping onto the train, Theo glanced towards his goal and noticed a strangely carefree-looking robot bumbling around near a control panel. Hopefully this one wasn't a threat.
The heck?
The train began to quake, and Theo couldn't react fast enough to leap off.
What?
He had better find something to hold on to.
What? I guess it was his turn. I guess this is a turn-based game. Alright.
Theo was quite unprepared for the sudden velocity and found his current predicament extremely upsetting.
I like that he's...
Luckily, he just needed to hold on until
He's
the
voicing.
train looped back to the station.
He's voicing like he's in the tunnel. Safety conscious bot. I like how it says 88 miles an hour. Alright, what else do we have here? Doesn't look like there's anything else I can look at. Okay, well, let's... I guess we'll use our forwards. We'll... We'll use another forward. Okay, this looks like it's gonna fly off and kill me or something. we need to move to the right of that. Yeah, that probably would have killed me. Alright. Oh, but this is... I see. Okay, so let's do this instead. Then up right, and then up left. Yeah, okay. So we'll go behind this guy.
As the hatch broke free and rocketed past him, Theo pressed himself against the train and vowed to dedicate the rest of the ride to keeping his eyes open for low-flying objects of feline destruction.
I actually really like the narrator. He's doing a good job. Props to him. It's forward. Gotta use a...
Theo might have found some comfort knowing he wasn't the only one caught unaware by the sudden departure. But it was all he could do to just keep his paws on the ground.
Okay. We need to move. Okay, let's move. Right turn. Make another right turn. We need an up left, which we do have. And then what, an up left? Here's the other thing. Locomotion. Number 2, flaming bot. Hard to tell if this robot can feel pain. Does it even know it's on fire? Oh my god. This way. Let's leap right past him. And then we need to get away from this thing. So we need to move right. I can't use this yet, so we need to move up 2. Then we can probably make the left.
Theo tried not to let the burning robot distract him from his efforts to survive.
Alright, we'll go this way. Forward.
In the distance, Theo could just about spot the station, approaching at a rapid pace. He just hoped to hold on a little longer.
There we go. Alright, so this one does only have one thing. There it is, it's the control panel. Is this the same room?
Theo staggered off the train quickly, driven by his newfound appreciation for solid ground and the terrible fear that it might suddenly set off again. Just ahead of him, he could see that bloody robot that had sent the train off in the first place.
Alright.
As he followed the irritating machine through the jagged opening in the wall, Theo hoped that he wouldn't ever have to lay eyes on it again.
The narrator's doing good. Act 3 motive has been completed. Alright. Help. Locked in. Building materials.
Theo eyed his new surroundings curiously.
And an electrical bot. Making sure the power's in the right... Hopefully it's
Noting
right.
the piles of unused tiles and pipes. Across what little floor existed, there was a sharp drop from which a blinding light and tremendous heat emanated.
Are we in a
Besides
volcano
this,
lair?
that bloody robot.
I think we're in a volcano lair. Alright. Let's go this way.
Theo focused on the path ahead, choosing to politely ignore the annoyance in the room. A shifting wall of energy was barring his progress. Perhaps turning off that strange machine would help.
How do I? Hmm. See, maybe I have to... Okay, so this is the start. I can't actually do anything. But I have to do this. Can't use that. Use R to select a power toggle. That's how.
With the barrier successfully disabled, Theo was happy to move on and leave that robotic liability behind. Surely the killer couldn't be too far now.
Can I just, like, telekinesis that from any part in the room? Interesting. Followed.
Entering
Yeah.
another area with limited flooring, Theo wondered why all of these rooms seemed so unfinished. Maybe the... It was starting to look like Theo might have a
Ramshackle wall made from garbage and I-beams.
tail. No pun intended.
Okay. So I can turn that off.
Apparently, Theo's new friend had some value after all.
What does he do? I mean, why did he react like that? Interesting. Let's move. Then... Okay, so he's gonna move there. And there?
Caution was probably wise, but there seemed to be no other way. As the oblivious robot scampered over an obvious switch, Theo braced for the consequences. When none presented themselves, he decided to stay on alert. There was no way he was safe while that machine was bumping into things.
Switch it up.
Contemplating the state of the room ahead, Theo reluctantly accepted that perhaps the robot's help might be necessary.
A lava pipe. Yeah, I have a feeling that we're in some kind of secret volcano lair, and that Brightpaw Industries is a weapons manufacturer for supervillains. That's the theme I'm feeling here. Out of order sign. Broken elevator recently. Okay, let's go here.
As he threw a disparaging glance at the machine, Theo noticed some worn writing on his chassis. D4Z.
I can't do it while he's there. Okay.
As a loud noise reverberated behind Theo, he wondered just what he had done to be cursed with a trundling mishap. Though his companion seemed to be some kind of cosmic setback magnet, Theo had to admit, Daz was endearing, aggravatingly so.
Alright. Rupture. Ooh.
Overwhelmed by the heat pouring from the broken machine, Theo mourned the obvious failings of engineering
Probably require a specialist or two. Hopefully it's not too important.
safety standards. How on earth was he going to reach the elevators beyond this mess?
Okay, so let's do this. That'll bring our robot friend in. We'll do this. That'll make our robot friend hit that
Theo
switch.
blinked when he heard the now familiar sound of Daz activating another switch. He cautiously opened his eyes and was pleasantly surprised to see something positive had finally come from this robot's help.
Alright.
As Daz Daz hurried into the elevator, Theo found himself growing slightly less aggrieved. Perhaps having the little fellow around might even be useful.
Alright, so yeah, this is a very interesting cat-themed puzzle game. It reminds me a lot of Metal Gear Acid, which was a card-based movement puzzle game with combat.
On what could kindly be
but
referred to as a rough and ready bridge.
I really like...
Or not so kindly as an invitation to a long planet to certain death.
I like the narrator.
Theo watched as Daz leapt gracefully down onto the scaffold to aid in his journey across.
I like what I'm seeing so far. I'm curious as to know what kind of cards I'll be getting later in the game. Let me just see something. We've got extras because I can see a PSI, a psi power, in that card style. Ooh, I can actually change these styles. Thing. Brown. Let's give me a Final Fantasy VII kind of vibe. We've got collectibles. Of course, the player skins. Oh, we can make ourselves... These cats have... Oh, yeah. Right there, I thought they had, Complete Act 1... That actually doesn't look like that. That cat symbol looks very orange. That looks very yellow, with a dot on its head. These are not the same. Why are they not the same? Spotted gray, this is like a brown. What does that mean for these? Okay, these are probably... Oh, that's trippy. Trans Pride. Okay. Bi Pride. Got color patches. Oh my god. Hard to look at. I can be a... Oh, we can change Daz! Oh, so that's what Nepter is. Wireframe. I have rockets. What's Nepter got? Nepter with rockets. Birthday Theo. See, this and this are completely different. Oh my god, you can be a cat on a on a go-kart. What are these? Blue team, red team, yeah. Onyx Theo, jeez. Slime, you know. Sapphire and Ruby. Amber. Alright. Okay, okay. Yeah, this is an interesting game. I'm curious about the story. I don't know how long this game is going to be, but these are a lot of small levels that, I mean, you could probably just pick this up and do a couple of them, you know, when you're just waiting for stuff. This is, yeah, I kind of dig this. This is Brightpaw, the definitive edition, available on the Nintendo Switch. I've been the Blue Fox. Thank you very much. You have yourself a wonderful night.